Work fatigue is a chronic job stress. We define chronic job stress as any stress lasting longer than 6 weeks that has begun to affect your mental, your emotional health, your physical health, ethical decisions, and your spiritual health, your relationship with Yahweh. Are you being obedient to the things He is asking you to do in the workplace? Are you showing and sharing your love? Are you practicing faith in the workplace? Or are you trying to hold on to the things you work so desperately for? oh, Excuse me. Are you trying to so desperately hold on to the things you worked so hard for? Or will you trust Him to let those things go so that He can give you something more? These things often happen in the workplace before disease fully manifests because the people of God has not been shown in real time how to practice faith in the workplace, how the word of God manifests in the workplace, where our image is, where our paycheck is, where we base our health on. Like it's just so much that is could be considered idolatry, that should be considered idolatry in the workplace, especially when you are minding your business, doing the things you're supposed to be doing, and suddenly things change. Could that be a calling for you? Could that be your burning bush? Could that be holy ground that you are ignoring so that you can keep going on with the get along and keeping your life as comfortable as possible, doing the things that everyone else is doing when God is calling you to use you? So many workers, Black women and nurses, they present to the doctor with real physical symptoms, real mental symptoms, and they still leave the doctor's office feeling dismissed, confused, or unseen. The issue is not always that the doctor has ignored them. Doctors are positioned to make medical judgments, medical diagnoses, medical treatment plans, and disease management for a manifested disease. Chronic stress that lasts longer than 6 weeks will manifest disease unless you do one or two things: fight or flight. You don't know how to do this in the workplace because who taught you? But I'm here to share with you how it should be done and what it is you should be doing when chronic stress, when cortisol spikes in the workplace, when you feel like you're caught between a rock and a hard place. I'm here to share with you what you should be doing so that you either fight back professionally, fight back, and professionally run. Okay. Here's a little wisdom I like to impart on deciding whether or not you should fight or fight. Fight or take flight in the workplace. Always fight for your rights. Always. And you know that part in the Bible where God says, after all you've done to stand, stand. We're talking about your rights, executing your rights, standing for your rights, being in righteousness for your rights. Stand there. Don't acquiesce. Don't bow because something seems a little bit more comfortable or negotiate with a system who does not have your best interest in mind or in heart. Here at the Workforce Care Center, we are created for prevention, for assessment, for system navigation, and for work context, understanding your stress spikes in the workplace before disease, crises, and workforce loss. I'm Glenee Davis. I am the visionary founder and CEO at Glenee's RX for Life. We are a career burnout consultancy and healthcare education agency. We specialize in workplace mental health for Black career women and registered nurses. Both populations deserve specialized knowledge, understanding, and application for their workplace mental health issues, for their chronic stress issues. And we just believe that because this group is so highly educated, faith based, career oriented, that they shouldn't be funneled, bottlenecking psychiatric psychiatry. We leave psychiatry couches and psychiatry chairs and medications to the people who are suffering real mental illnesses. You, my friend, you, my sis, you, my nurse friend, my nurses, are suffering chronic job stress. It's not a mental illness, it is a position that you are in and a condition that is influencing your behaviors because you don't know what you're supposed to properly be doing in the workplace. Okay. So we're talking about today, maybe it's you, maybe it's work fatigue. Have you ever been at work where suddenly you feel alone, lonely in a crowd of people? You look around, everybody's working, everybody's doing something very intentional. But then you're noticing the only thing you're being intentional about is questioning, am I even in the right place? Am I even doing the right work? Why am I not like everyone else? What is happening? If I can be honest with you, sometimes just because we have invested time, focus, energy, money into being in a position, it doesn't mean that it was the right fit for us. And sometimes we have to come to grips and to terms that maybe I'm just not in the right place. And this has nothing to do with belonging, because if you are hired to do a job, I certainly believe that you belong in that environment. But maybe you're not just doing the right job. So if you feel like you're in the right place or in the right organization, there was at one time a sense of belonging, or maybe a very short time of a sense of belonging, and you just feel like the odd man out. You're not as engaged as everyone else. You're not as an intentional with your work as everyone else. Then you should probably take a little time out so that you can discover for yourself if you are doing the right thing at the right time for yourself. You could do this quick exercise. Ask yourself, am I happy doing the work I'm doing? Am I energized? Is there a sense of purpose for me in what I'm doing? Am I confident in doing the work? And if you answered no to any of those questions, then here's what I want you to do. Just take some time off, some PTO, pray about it, journal, ask for career guidance, and then execute on the things that have come to your mind, the good things that have come to your mind. There'll be many things, but you want to execute on the good things that has come to mind for you to do and to execute on them. Because the last thing you want to do is continue to be in a place where you don't feel intentional. Your work doesn't feel intentional. You've just because you've invested money and just because you've invested time cannot compare to you finding the best place for you to be in and to grow in and to be your full and authentic self. So if you answered yes to all of those self assessment questions, you may actually be experiencing work fatigue. So this means that you were feeling confident in your job. You definitely were being energized and you definitely invested in money to be where you are and you love every bit of the work that you're doing. You could retire doing the work that you're doing. But now all of a sudden something happened. You love what you're doing, but there's this desire, this something that is pulling you, engaging you, and taking your attention from what it is that you used to do just so effortlessly. If you're not careful with discerning the and discovering what happened, you will begin to feel separated and out of sync, desperate for attention, withdrawing from work, withdrawing from people that you used to spend time with, and unseen. You must take that time to focus and journal, pray, seek guidance and counseling and understanding about what could have possibly changed for you in the workplace. Why? Because these emotions can feel harmful. They can make you feel desperate. They can cause you to be in circumstances that brew hatred, jealousy, unforgiveness, and unfriendliness. Then it can embark onto your performance in the workplace. And you still haven't even taken out time to discover or uncover what exactly is happening. For you, you should also take some time off. Remove yourself from the environment. For you, this may be a little bit hard because you'd be like, what happened? How did things change? But that's up to you to discern and to understand and to see what it is that is happening to you, what's changed for you in the workplace. Take the time off, remove yourself from the environment, take 3 days off. 3 days off. Strategic, intentional days off. Ask yourself, does something happen? Ask God, what are you trying to show me? What are you trying to tell me? Prayer always helps. And remember, if you are talking to any professional and they are not sending you to the Word of God, they are not pointing you into the path of holiness and righteousness, you are being misled. There are 5 levels of work fatigue: physical fatigue, mental fatigue, emotional fatigue, ethical fatigue, and spiritual fatigue. Emotional fatigue, crying before or after work, having some emotional numbness or bluntness, irritability, dread, anger, feeling overwhelmed but still functioning, feeling sad, anxious, and reactive without knowing why. You're still functioning doesn't mean that you're fine. It means that you have to be able to carve out some time to understand what is happening, what's changing, why am I feeling fatigued, and what should I do about it before I run into exhaustion. Remember, when you are dealing with any chronic job stress, your responsibility is to do one or two things, is to be sympathetic to your parasympathetic system. It's wanting you to take fight or flight. The least you can do is give it the energy, is to express the energy that it is giving you to do one or two things. Freezing and fawning is the same thing as making no decision, and no decision is a decision. And being children of the Most High God, you must make a decision, even if that decision is waiting. Waiting with an intention is not the same thing as freezing and fawning. If your job stress is lasting you longer than 6 weeks, we would love for you to come and take our free work fatigue quiz. Get the assessment and the understanding that you need to make your next best decision so that you're not out here missing the mark, so that you're not out here becoming victims of America's public health crises, so that you're not out here disappointing the God of heaven. Okay? You don't want to do that. I will leave the link below for the work fatigue quiz. Be sure that you take it and get the assessment of yourself and the assessment of your environment so that you are not misdiagnosed, mismanaged, or mismedicated just because you're having some workplace issues and you're having all of these overwhelming symptoms of fatigue and don't know what you're supposed to be doing with it. The simple answer could be God is calling you to use you for a task in the workplace. And this is an open book test. Open book test. Don't fail an open book test. Get the support that you need when you enter into the system. FMLA is the entry point into the system. Uh, I don't know how to screen share. I don't. I'm. Bear with me. Do I have it? I don't have it. FMLA is the entry point into the system. ADA system, the FMLA system, workplace system, workers' comp system. Like once you get your 12 weeks off, your doctor takes you off, but what do you do with the 12 weeks? Especially if you are having workplace issues. 12 weeks go by like that. Especially if you have not resolved the root cause that took you out of the workplace to begin with. We're here uniquely positioned as professional registered nurses to make sure that you are being guided in the right direction, that you are not being misdiagnosed, mismanaged, or taking medication that's meant for somebody with mental illness, not you who are dealing with situational issues in the workplace. You can profit from your own controversy. You do not have to become victimized by anything that's happening in this world. You have your own God to serve. Let me show you how to serve them in the workplace. Take the work fatigue quiz and let's talk about which level you are so that you can know what you're supposed to be doing next. Until next time, be well.